China. Secretary Pompeo designated the Chinese Communist Party as having engaged in genocide regarding the Uyghur Muslim population. Do you agree with that designation?
That would be my judgment as well.
You do agree?
Yes.
Yeah, we're on a good start here. So this really, I just very much appreciate that. Do you believe that the Chinese Communist Party misled the world about the coronavirus?
I do.
What price, if any, should they pay?
When it comes to China's role in the virus, I think we want to, there's as you know, an investigation that is ongoing. We obviously want to see the results of that investigation, but there's some things we already know.
If they don't cooperate, what should we do?
I think that we have to look at very hard, because that cooperation, this is really the point, I think, of where we need to go on this. What we do know already with regard to China and the virus is that they did not provide transparency. They did not share information. They did not give access when it mattered most in the early days of this virus. Had they done so, it's possible that the course of the virus would have been different, and we could have dealt with it sooner and more effectively. My sense, Senator, going forward, is that what we should be focusing on, I know people talk about the punitive, I would be very focused on the preventative, which is to say, what steps will China take going forward?
Like wet markets.
For example, right. Yes, a very good example.
Yeah, I agree with that. When it comes to Taiwan, it's been the policy of the United States to basically, for lack of a better term, to guarantee Taiwanese democracy. What's your view of that?
My view is we have an abiding and longstanding and bipartisan commitment to Taiwan and to the Taiwan Relations Act. We need to make sure that they have the means to deter aggression, to defend themselves. I'd like to see Taiwan even more engaged in the world. It's in many ways a model democracy, a strong economy, and a technological powerhouse. And of course, the way they've dealt with COVID-19 has a lot of lessons to teach us.
But if the Chinese Communist Party decided to use military force against the population in Taiwan, that would create great upheaval throughout the world, and they would pay a heavy price. Is that fair to say?
That would be a grievous mistake on their part.
Hong Kong. Seems to be that they're not really paying much attention to what Congress is doing and what this administration is doing regarding Hong Kong. What can we do to get their attention that we're not doing?
So I wish we had taken some steps earlier. The national security law, the crackdown on media, the crackdown on free speech, on assembly, all of that has, I think, put in tatters the notion of real freedom and autonomy in Hong Kong, which were guarantees in the handover. One of the things, this is not going to fix the problem, but I'd like to see us, for example, be able to take in some of those fleeing Hong Kong and fleeing the repression for standing up for their democratic rights. And I know there's some legislation that looks at doing that. But I think we have to take a hard look about what our position should be on the presence of institutions and companies there. Is it going to remain a hub and a financial center? Does Beijing then get both sides of the benefit? We should take a hard look at that.
I think the first thing we have to do is send a stronger message, because they're clearly not listening to this Congress, and this administration's efforts, which I applaud, have fallen short. It's very difficult.